Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's campaign diary. When last we left our heroes, they were walking into another plane. As far as the eye could see, they saw the brutality of war. They saw pods of people fighting, the one closest to them, about a pod of 500 people. Tuska then led the group to a cave on the other side of this valley. He dropped off his things and told them to follow him, and that this is where they would be making camp later on. He brought the group near to one of the pods and told them to stand in line as he and his group of people kept walking forward. Then, turning around, he told them, "Show me you are worthy. Fight!" At that point in time, everyone then proceeded to battle it out. This battle was not for the faint of heart, as we had a group of 4 barbarians, one being Path of the Bear Totem, Wolf Totem, and then a Tiger Totem. Krill's younger sister was a Desert Storm Herald. During this battle, they learned of magical tattoos given to Tuska, Tuska's wife, and Krill. These gave them special attributes like decreasing damage taken, or increasing the output of damage, or having elemental damage dealt with the weapons they were wielding. During the battle, Krill targeted Arya for a reason we will get to later. Between her and Lyn, they both fell, then dying on the battlefield. After the battle was over, Sevi and Adric performed revivifies on them to bring them back, and then took the bodies of Krill, Tuska, Catra, and Faye all to the cave in which they were setting up camp. As our party looked through the sacks and everything that Tuska brought, they found a note that says, "Drink once at dawn." And in that sack was the bottles of liquor that he had previously given them. In the middle of the night, during the second watch in which Hel and Sevi were keeping watch, the bodies began to stir. As the bodies began to stir, Hel noticed that Tuska's wife was pulling the arrows from her chest. As he saw this, he ran over and stabbed her in the stomach, thinking that this was some sort of necromancy. After this, Tuska ran up to him, yelling at him, telling him that he needed to drop his weapons and demanding that he be given his weapons and his people their weapons back. Gorlick had previously taken all of these in fear that if they woke up, they would attack him again. They then asked why, and why didn't they get any knowledge that this would happen, and why was he so angry. He then exclaimed that Hel had just killed his son. Hel, taken aback by this, went off and sat in the corner of the cave, and then Tuska explained that this was their way, this was the tradition. You were to walk in here and not know what you were getting in for then you will run into battle not knowing whether or not you will die, but fighting through it, and if you die there. If you don't, you will live to fight another day, and that is what you will learn whilst going through these challenges. He also told Lyn that she has succeeded in her challenge. Lyn then talked to Tuska one-on-one, asking how her father did. Tuska said he only heard stories that her father failed 7 days in a row, fell each day, but on the last, his people he brought with him succeeded. Therefore, her father succeeded in his challenge on the last day. Lyn then felt discouraged by this, feeling as though she too had failed her challenge and that she too was going to be considered weak. She then talked with Gorlick. While they were talking, Gorlick's burn that he had recently got from this pack devil began to hurt and sting. Gorlick excused himself and went out into the valley, in which he was followed stealthily by Lyn. The pack devil revealed himself and told Gorlick that he was here to give him another power. He then touched Gorlick's arm. As he did, blood began to trail down Gorlick's hand into the weapon he was holding. The pack devil told Gorlick to focus in on the weapon and think. Thus, the blood trailed into the weapon, and then acid began to pool from the blade of the weapon. Arya then inquired as to why Krill had targeted her and why she was targeted. It was explained to her that she had disrespected their tradition by sneaking into the Inkstress's hut whenever she was not allowed in, and she asked how was I seen, for she wild-shaped into a spider. Faye then told her that she can see more than most can. She was touched by a god who gave her these powers. The party had to spend another day here so that the child in Katra's womb would then revive at the dawn of the next day. Adric, curious as to the extent of the invisibility that this liquor has given them, went off into one of the encampments. There he snuck around and found in one of the huts a symbol. In the center, a skull, around it droplets of blood on a white banner. He then walked around some more. Sevi, who was also on watch, went out to look for him. As he found him, Adric was peeking into a tent in which he saw a long dagger sitting at an altar. Sevi came up, saw the dagger, and began to become distant and told Adric that he needed to leave and he didn't need anything that was here. Adric went into the hut, found a couple papers, brought them back. As he brought them back, he didn't quite understand the language that they were written in, and went over and woke up Lynn, asked her if she could possibly read these, and she could. It talked about the blade of Bhaal and how sacred and powerful it was. Upon hearing this, Adric remembered that the god of Bhaal was the god of murder. He then lost interest in this place and those who dwell in it, and sat at the mouth of the cave, resuming his watch. And that is where we ended the session. Not much that I learned from this session that I can really talk about right now. I will talk about it in next week's video. Just in case some of my players watch this video before the session tonight, I kind of want to have some surprises that I feel if I go in depth in the details of them, that it'll give some story elements away. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this campaign diary, and I would like to tell all of you, tomorrow the 26th at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, I will be streaming a different D&D campaign over on Twitch. The link will be in the description down below. I hope that all of you kind of get a chance to tune in. I'll also be uploading that onto this channel for those of you that want to view it later. That's going to be it for this video. Happy gaming!